Hey, Dustin Boudreaux here, and in this video I'd like to talk about speaking things into existence. This is something we cover with our new sales reps and training quite a bit, along with goal setting and all those great things. But to illustrate the point of speaking things into existence, I'd like to do it with a personal story. And the personal story is how I achieved one of the biggest life goals I've had set for a long time. Anyone that knows me knows that I absolutely love the stock market. You know, I helped a ton of people set up accounts, buy stock, and it's something I really nerd out on. So I had this big life goal. I always wanted to be part of taking a company public. I wanted to be at the bell ringing ceremony, and I wanted to experience all these things that I'd imagined that it was like being at the NASDAQ, being able to see that bell ringing, everybody really excited about this big accomplishment. And so when I got called to come the waiter to work with the sales department or in the sales department, I said, hey, I'll come the waiter, but if we ever go public, I want to be a part of this experience. And so what do you know? A lot of great things line up, a lot of exciting things happened, and it was announced that waiter was going to be going public, and I was super, super excited and said, hey, I have got to go to this deal. And so what had happened, two people from each department were going to be selected. And so the way it worked, you had to vote on two people that you would like to go, and you couldn't vote for yourself. And I'll never forget this. So we cast in our votes, everything's happening, and I'm on the treadmill one morning in my gym, and I see an email come through my phone, and it said, all I read was NASDAQ. And I thought I was selected, and I almost wiped out on the treadmill immediately, stopped working out, read the email, and it was talking about the voting, the time frame, how everything worked, and I was like, man, I thought that was it. So the voting happens, it was over a couple of weeks, and we get to the office, and we have a meeting, and we announce everyone that's going to be going on this trip. And whenever it gets to sales, man, my heart almost stopped. I was so anxious and so nervous and wanted to go so bad. But before I announce that piece, let me take you back one step. So when I found out that it was going to be a voting system and people were going to vote and it was all going to happen, immediately after following the gym, I came back home, wrote down on my notepad, I am going to the waiter NASDAQ public bell ringing ceremony and I wrote the date. And I, without a doubt, didn't question that this was going to happen. And so a few weeks later, we find ourselves at this meeting, and it gets to the sales deal. Like I said, heart's about to stop, super anxious. And they call the first person's name, and then time kind of stopped, and then they called my name. And I lost it, jumped up. There was a bunch of people in the meeting. I couldn't contain my excitement. And it was just so surreal to have this vision and this goal for so long and to finally get called to experiencing this. And then a couple of weeks later, on November 28th of 2018, I found myself amongst about 75 other people that were selected to stand on that NASDAQ stage, be a part of this bell ringing ceremony. And I get the chills just talking about it because I share this story with you. For one, it was an amazing accomplishment for me. And two, about the power of speaking things into existence. You know, so many times our logical brain gets caught up in, hey, I want to set this goal, but I don't know how I'm going to achieve it. Or, hey, it's such a big goal, I can't understand the steps of how this is going to happen. And I want you to take away from this, one, you don't have to know how things are going to happen. You just have to know what you want and believe that it can happen and continue to work and become the person that you need to become to have that thing attracted to you. And secondly, you have to have this thing in your mind. That way your mind has something to focus on. You're at the forefront of this thing, continuing to think about it, almost obsessing about it. And your mind keeps thinking, oh man, Dustin really wants this to happen. How can we make this happen? How can we make this happen? And the last and final thing is you continue to work to this thing. You continue to work to it. And once it happens, you'll look back and say, man, I could have never in a million years imagined that my goal would have turned out the way it did. And that's certainly how it happened for me. So I hope you find inspiration in this. Do not be afraid to set big, massive goals. Set them, write them down, continue to think about them, obsess over them if that's what it takes. And then as you continue to develop and become the person that it takes to achieve something that you want to achieve that is big, whenever it happens, you can look back and say, man, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it happened and it was absolutely amazing. So hope you enjoyed this video. Share it around if you know anyone that needs some inspiration and just wants to hear a fast talking dude talk about an exciting goal he achieved in his life. I thank you for watching. I look forward to cutting another video and staying connected with you. And this video is a wrap.